The Massachusetts Regiment was famous for many reasons. The most obvious of these being that they were the first African American regiment. This regiment is also very famous because of their courage and because they showed America that freedmen could be valuable and effective fighters. In January of 1863, the Secretary of War gave John A. Andrew, the governor of Massachusetts, the authorization to, in his words, include persons of African descent in their regiments. The first of these was called the 54th Massachusetts Regiment. Colonel Robert Gould Shaw was chosen to be their first commander. Other important members were two of Frederick Douglass's sons, Lewis Henry Douglass and Charles Remond Douglass, as well as William H. Carney. They had to prepare to set off from Boston on May 28th.
There were a lot of questions and doubts about the forming and the performance of the 54th Massachusetts Regiment. Were these African Americans ready to fight a white man's war? The one thing that this newly formed military group needed was support, and that was one of the things that these soldiers did not have. So then, John A. Andrew decided to improvise and gain support for the regiment. He decided to make all of the officers white. All of the African Americans had to move up the ranks by themselves, and they started their training in Camp Meigs, Reidsville. This regiment would soon be known as one of the bravest groups that have ever fought in the military.
Their first obstacle was on July 16th, when they successfully repelled an attack on James Island off the coast of South Carolina. Just 2 days later, they found themselves leading an assault on Fort Wagner guarding Charleston. Before the battle, Shaw said, "I want you to prove yourselves. The eyes of thousands will look on what you do tonight." These would be some of the last words Shaw spoke to his men, as Shaw died in the battle. The regiment lost 281 men in hand-to-hand combat, but still they proved themselves as Shaw wanted them to, and took control of the fort. After Shaw's death, Colonel Edward Needles Hallowell, a Quaker, finished the battle in charge. This is when William Carney showed his courage and bravery, as he refused to let his regiment's flag fall. He was shot several times, survived, and was awarded with the Medal of Honor. In place of Shaw, Lieutenant Colonel Hooper took command starting June 18, 1864.
The pay controversy of the African American soldiers was a big issue for the Union. This was already segregation shown by the North or the Union, even though they didn't want the African Americans to be slaves. This is going to be a big issue for the next 100 years, even though the African Americans were not expected in the Army of the Union. Many still fought for their freedom. The soldiers of the 54th Regiment of Massachusetts earned $10 a month, which is $3 less than the white soldiers. Nothing was free either. The clothing was $3 and the conditions were rough. At the Battle of Olskey, when protecting a retreat, moved forward shouting Massachusetts and $7 a month. This showed their pride and courage.